Welcome to the Lakeshow Podcast. It's a weekly deep dive into the biggest stories and topics surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by my Spectrum SportsNet co-host, Chris McGee, and our Laker insider, Mike Bresnahan.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Well, how are you?
Big Game announced on the postgame show that you ate 57 pounds of sushi.
Yeah,
Maybe 75.
Ryan, trainer, our producer, we laughed about that. He says that every time. And I think because he says that every time, I've now been a little sensitive to it when I'm there. But I'll eat. I don't care. But no, I get a plate, and they don't have a lot of. You eat. You get a few. You get some pieces, but I put everything on one plate. So I had a little sliced. Big Game and I had a little sliced prime rib.
Oh,
I had a little
carving station.
Yeah, I had a little.
did you have the pink pineapple?
No, and had this piece of calamari. They had but it was like a filleted calamari. Did that? Mm-hmm. So it was all on kind of one plate. So it might have looked like I had
a lot
of sushi.
Yeah, he likes bringing it up.
Yeah, you know what? He had a full plate too.
I'm sure he doesn't go away hungry.
Full plate.
Yeah. First of all, when you're the king of anywhere,
you know what I do though?
You don't go away hungry.
My second plate, I go back to that same station over there, and I get the shrimpses. So I got shrimp, the grilled shrimp. I love grilled. I love just fresh shrimp.
Oh.
That you dip in the cocktail sauce.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I get a bunch of those pieces with little sashimi. So that's considered sushi, I guess.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, so do you then go to the media room and have some of that food, or you're done for the night?
Don't go in there much. I go in there.
You don't go to the ice cream machine?
I don't. I've never done that.
No commenters for you. You just stick with.
No, I go in there to start the day off, and I get my hot tea, and I sit with Billy Mack, and I watch football with everybody, and say hi to all the beat guys.
Yeah, do you talk to the beat guys?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
see them all. I go say hi to everyone.
Good.
I walk around a lot. I like to get there early.
Yeah.
I like to be settled in.
Okay.
Do a lot of laps.
What time do
talk
you get
to
there
Beto.
Okay. Do you go on a show, Beto show?
I usually do, but yesterday I didn't, just because I was with some stuff going on. I was sitting with Jack DeGroot yesterday, and just kind of. And then some things that Dave was sending. So I was just kind of getting ready for. It was kind of like figuring out if LeBron was playing and all that. So I was a little more that last half an hour before the show dialed it. Like sometimes I'll just cruise up to Beto, but I didn't do it this time.
For a 6:30 pregame, this goes for you too, Allie, because you go down there quite a bit. What time do you want to get there if you're on there at 6:30? What time do you get to the arena?
I'm afraid to tell you guys.
Are you like LeBron? Are you there at 1:30?
No, but I like to be there really early.
Early.
So yesterday, I like to get there a couple hours before.
Okay.
So yesterday, I walked into this office Sunday, and I sat down at my desk, and B. Moore and I were laughing about this after. There was not one person in this building. And I looked over. Dave, you were not here. I looked for Dave, and there was nobody.
Wow.
And there's one person over in the news side just sitting there. All the TVs were off, so no one had been at their desk, and I thought to myself, is the game canceled today? That'd be unbelievable. I'd go home, watch football. And all of a sudden, like, B. Moore hit me up. He was on his way in, and then he was like, you got here really early. I happened to get here because I knew I was going to the arena. So I beat everyone here yesterday. It was the first time probably in history.
Called me in a panic.
I did.
Text me in it.
I needed makeup. I needed some things changed around.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I just said, call me, please, because you weren't answering, and I didn't like it.
It was a call. It was a call me. It was a please.
Well, because I knew you were like looking at my phone, my number, calling you, and just not picking up.
That is not. No. I was
in my mind,
shower.
that's what was happening.
I was in the shower. And when we get to the moment where I answer my phone because it's either in the shower,
right?
then we've got issues. So that's not actually what happened.
Okay. I also had a feeling, that's why I called twice, that you might be in the shower.
You only called once.
No, I look at your missed calls. I called twice.
Did you do the double callback?
Huh?
You did the double callback?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so
pretty sure I did.
6:30 on air.
6:30 on air.
Okay, so 6:30 on air, which means 7:30 game, which means JJ's at 5:45 because it's 2 hours plus 15, which means I got to do my tunnel walk-in for the camera at 5:30, which means I need to get there by 5:10, 5:20 to set up my bag, do a touch-up if I need it, and then be well on my way. So 7:30 game, 6:30 on air. I'm getting there at 5:15.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's about the time I get there too, but I don't have any of the stuff. The walk-in.
Which that's what I'm mad
touch-up
about because I wanted to connect you with Adam Pantazzi, the NBA's photographer.
I want a walk-in photo, Brez.
Yeah.
Allie's walk-in photos are great.
Yeah,
I know I'm not going to look like that, but I want one that looks decent.
Allie, you always look like you're having the best day ever.
Then I can pin it,
walk-ins.
Brez, on the profile. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah, you should.
Damn it. We need
When do you
people.
get there?
About the same time you
She did
Hour
2
and a half
segments
at a
with
time?
James, by the way. They weren't doing the pregame show together down there.
Yeah, no.
She was reporting. James came up with a holiday party thing he had to go to. So he's down there.
up.
We're in the
Wait, he had
studio.
a
You
lot of
remember this
sushi
night,
there.
right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You remember this night. He had pounds of sushi, I was told.
Yep.
He and Allie did 2 segments. They were great. The next day, she's posting 47 professional photos of she and James hugging, then they're doing this, and then they're doing the show, and they're like pretending they're talking. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah, do you
That was
hire
the
I
someone?
do a show every month there. I don't have one freaking picture.
No.
It's called being nice to people, introducing yourself. Your name is Christopher McGee. Hi, maybe you can
Sure,
take my
Brett and
photo.
Justin think you're really nice the way you sometimes walk in here and treat these guys. You know?
No one is lining
That
up.
is rude.
No one is lining up to take pics of you and me.
That's what I
Not
mean. I
one-on-one
just want
person.
like a one person be like,
We
oh
have
my
to
God, you and
ask.
James were doing a show. We took a photo.
Oh, hey, just took pictures of you
Look.
guys. Yeah. Never happens. Never
All
happens.
you have to do is ask.
But I don't know, almost like look staged because you were like flipping your hair back one time and James is like smiling. And I'm like, wait, are they having that much fun? He's never having that much fun when I'm down there.
Well, with Allie, maybe he enjoys.
You know what I was actually going to say, too? You always go to the Delta One Lounge. Is that what it is before Rob yells at us one more time? Is
First
it
of all, it's
Delta
called
One
the
Lounge?
chairman's room.
It's the
It's
chairman's
the
room.
Delta One
Okay.
Lounge, but chairman's room.
That game, I couldn't go to the chairman's room.
Yeah.
He
Why?
literally was like, you ready to go? I actually had to say no.
Why?
Because my phone was dying. So I had to go find a
Find a
freaking
phone.
charger and charge my phone. And then I felt like I was just missing the moment and the opportunity to go in there. I was really disappointed.
Did your professional photographer say, I can help you with that? And like you called one of your interns and they came and
I
helped
had
you?
6 people on standby to give me a phone charger. The
Yeah.
Portland sideline, Mike Trudell, who told me I could go digging through his bag, Dean, who helps us
Yeah.
down
Stage
there.
manager.
I was carrying chargers around that arena.
Dean's
like,
funny. He's a funny bird.
He's
We got it down.
moving.
Listen, the pregame show, you guys take that last 20 minutes, whatever it is. We go, we get our food. We see that the show's on in there. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's cool.
Huge screen TVs.
giant.
It's on. So I can watch, listen, and then we watch a little bit of the first quarter, and then we go to the seats. It's like I got it down. I got wired.
By the way, I just remember that we are
James
on.
tells me he's going to stay,
in
but
this
he never
podcast right
does.
now.
He's always going to leave it.
Who?
James will say I'm staying, but I know he's leaving. He leaves at
leaving.
halftime.
He's never stayed once for the whole game.
He actually left early last night. He left right at halftime. To go
Okay.
back to the studio.
Oh.
I was proud of him.
We loved having him here.
I saw there's a guy, Baby Gronk. I don't who's this Baby Gronk kid, and this guy, the NBA elf. I don't
Who-
you see
who-
these
who
guys
was
on
the
the
elf
side.
guy? Yeah.
I don't know. They're all about Instagram, and there's a lot of influencers there last night at the Laker game. The Laker game was popping with influencers.
And 2 parents of players who were or not one ex-NBA player.
Talked to Scottie Pippen for a little bit.
How is he?
Came over to me and James in the chairman's room. We chatted for a bit. Told him how fired up we were. Told him how fired up we were for his son, and he appreciated that we always pumped him up on our shows. He said,
Well, that's nice.
but that was nice of Scotty.
Wow.
Did you talk
Yeah.
to T. Morant as well?
Big Game did. He was
Did he?
wearing a Washington Commanders jacket. And he
Yeah,
came
I
over to
saw
our
that.
table.
Yeah.
James talked to him. I just said hi, but I didn't talk to him. But talked to Scotty a little bit. That was cool.
I saw producer Beemore's son got a picture with him.
Yep. Jordan Moore was there.
Such a
His
legend.
wife Sam,
What a legend.
and I think Sam's cousin. And that was super funny because we were between segments yesterday, and all of a sudden I'm hearing, and I had like double earpiece in because I like to block out the sound in my right ear
It's
too.
loud when you're on the court.
And it get her screaming. I was like, someone's calling my name, and I look over, and it was Sam and Jordan. So,
Oh, that sounds cool.
that's
so we ended up getting a
cute.
picture
That's
with
really
them,
cool.
and, yeah, it was nice.
I love that.
Oh, James had a moment with Marcus Smart.
Oh,
Yeah, he got right up after a. Yeah, always get a little worried when he leaves after an. Yeah, Dave, it was a good moment.
oh.
Sorry.
What?
You think Marcus Smart? You think Celtics?
No,
You're wondering
yeah,
with
no.
The punches thrown.
You know, James got up after the A block, the first segment, and you know, I'm always just hoping he gets back for the second segment, and because he always goes to look, because he knows everyone, so he goes always to the visitor side and talks to TV people, whatever. He likes to get up and roam. I usually kind of sit that time we're talking about the next part or whatever. I talk to whoever back in the studio, and so he came back over and he shared it on air though, like most of it, just how he went up to him and told him how much he appreciates him as a vet, as an older vet to a younger vet, like what you've done in that locker room and what you've done for just the team and John,
Wow.
everybody. Yeah, it was super cool. And Marcus Smart was like ear to ear smiling.
Whoa.
He had his headphones on. Yeah, he was like beaming. So I was like, "What'd you say to him?" So he shared it.
No,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
really
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Along those lines, and this is kudos to Big Game James. You guys know this. You've worked with him longer than I have, but the one thing I've always said is he's one of, if not the most generous, kindest
Yeah.
superstars, legends to be around.
Yeah.
And I had gotten recently a text from Jeff Green, who obviously I covered in Cleveland
Yep.
and became friends with, and out of nowhere, and I shared this with Big Game, but I think this is just Big Game kind of giving back and showing that love towards the current players. And I got a text from Jeff Green that just said, "Will you tell Mr. James Worthy I love him?" Mr. Worthy.
That's awesome.
And it had crying faces. And I was like, uh-oh, what'd Big Game say?
Yeah.
And I shared this with Big Game. And he said, no, Big Game was recently asked what players in today's NBA remind him of himself when he was a player. And he said Kevin Durant and Jeff Green.
Whoa. No way.
And Jeff said, it made my entire life, my career. I've always loved Big Game. Will you just share that with him? So I did. And then he responds back, throughout the course of my career, having to move from team to team, you can get lost in kind of all of it. And to hear Big Game say that about me, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And Big Game wrote back. It was just like, love Jeff. And I just feel like Big Game's always that guy. He's just never too big.
Oh, no,
for the moment,
guys love him.
And
even like, as a little kid and his dad were like looking at us from, they're there early and they're probably 3 or 4 rows up to our left. We're on the court and you just tell they're looking and they're just like, and all of a sudden it's just like, James looks over and he's like, hi, like this. And the kid just like, the dad's probably more jazzed than the kid. It was pretty funny. So he's very good like that.
Everyone wants a piece of him too. I just got a text from an LA Times reporter that I know today. He's like, hey, can I talk to Worthy for we're doing a story on the UCLA North Carolina game in a few days. I'm like, well, I can't give you his number, but here's someone to call who can help you with that. And he's just the best guy. I brought in a family recently, and it was a young boy. He's going through some tough times. He lost his parents, and his aunt brought him in. James the other night I said, hey, can we call him? I want to talk to him.
He was telling me about this.
I want to make sure he's doing good, Just a really, really nice thing for James to do. So everyone wants him, from media to kids love him. He drew a nice picture of James. It's just...
We actually had a great chat last night, like before the game. We were just alone at the table. A good chat. It's always fun. It's always fun to hang out. Actually, Scottie Pippen did come over and say, in that voice, he's like, where's Big Shot Bob? Is he in studio tonight? It was that voice, that Pippen voice. And we're like, no, it's Fish and it's Brez and it's Allie. It was pretty funny.
You mentioned my name, Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, we told him we're like, no, because look, it's Fish and it's Brez and Allie. And he was like, oh, yeah. He asked for Big Shot Bob. That's where he asked for Big Shot Bob.
High school, every time I went to the free throw line, 3 dribbles, Scottie Pippen, Scottie Pippen, Scottie Pippen.
That's right. You did do that. I should have told him.
That's so cool. All right. Do we even have to talk about the Lakers?
They won, yes. It's actually a lot more fun. They won. Yeah, they won.
See you next week. This all led into the win last night versus the Grizzlies, of course, the number 2 team in the West. We talked about it, hottest team. 40-16 from Anthony Davis. LeBron James returned, which I did kind of kick myself. And Trainer produced last night, and he was like, it's kind of weird that we just didn't mention Bron there in the A block. However, again, 40-16, you beat a great team. We kind of made it about the team. But for LeBron to miss the last 2, come back 18-8-8.
Yeah, and he had, I guess, a sequence in the first quarter. I think a lot of the people were, the writers were asking him about, right, where he had the tip in and kind of showed that burst of energy for like 3 sequences or something.
Yeah, well, that 2.5 minutes into the game, it's okay, he's back.
And obviously,
you by the way, AD left the game for 8 game minutes, 9 game minutes.
Was he gone that long with the shoulder?
He was gone 6.
Oh,
just
that's
over
why
6
they
plus.
came back.
Yeah, 6 plus 3. First 3 minutes of the fourth. So we had to talk about his shoulder, and that's
right. He did miss time, and they went on a huge run.
12 points in the fourth quarter, I believe.
David texted me during that game because he got out at like 6:54 mark or something.
I did like this though from Anthony Davis. We're going to get to some sound from LeBron really quick over the last 2 games sitting out, but before we do, I do like this perspective. We always think when players go to the locker room that because we don't know exactly what's going on, but he had mentioned. JJ said I wasn't coming back in until the 9-minute mark of the fourth. So he was able to kind of take advantage of time that he was supposed to be out.
He knew he was, and he was getting worked on. Yeah,
however,
such a good point.
When that 19-5 run happened, maybe we would have put him in when we were supposed to.
Yeah.
Would have been nice. But
it's just never, listen, we all do the fantasy football thing. Like when you see a guy go in the locker room, it's just complete panic.
Pure panic.
Yeah. It's like, same thing in NBA. Like you see a guy go in the locker room, you think it's not good, no matter what.
You were in the locker room last night with LeBron. Here he is speaking about sitting out previous 2 games.
Probably the Saturday after the Hawks game, felt my foot, felt my body. After that Hawks game, after that last road trip, and I did my pregame workout on that Sunday for the Portland game, and decided that it was probably best that I probably take that game off, and then looking forward to the schedule. We didn't play again until Friday in Minnesota. But if I had the opportunity to take more days and get my mind, body, and everything just, where I wanted it to be for tonight, and it worked out. It's very rare, to be honest, if you can get a break in the schedule like that. And so it was a very, easy decision for myself and for the team and for my trainer to be able to take advantage of those days just for everything.
To what extent do you feel like that injury is behind you versus it's still?
No, it's an everyday thing. No, it's not behind me. It's an everyday thing. It's something that's been lingering for the last few years. So, but I was able to do a lot of great things to reassure not only that, but I got knee, in the quad in the Atlanta game at the end of regulation by AD. So that's now back to 100%. But that was over probably like 3 days ago. It was still pretty sore, but I'm able to get that back to 100, so that was great. So I was able to heal a lot of other ailments as well.
So, Gita, I'll actually let you go first. You were in there. Just kind of the vibe, the energy, a lot of healing, it seems like, mentally and physically for LeBron. Yeah,
for sure. I felt just watching him, like I liked his energy. I didn't think he was animated or over the top. I didn't see a ton of him. I just saw him playing hard and playing the game that we were always used to him playing, He was vocal on the court, though, for sure. Yeah. I think they've been trying to focus on that area. They defended really well. Everyone gave a lot of love to Max. I don't know if we'll talk about that.
We'll go there next time.
But yeah, I just thought, like, and he even mentioned it, like the foot, a lot of back and forth, a lot of travel. Like, of course you want to play all 82, but when that's done, then, sometimes you just can't do that, right? So it's not what's best for the team. It's not what's best for you personally. So I just feel like he needed that. I just felt like he needed that mental break also. One thing he talked about was, like, he's never really truly away from the game. He's always working on getting back mentally and physically. Like, so that takes work for him. It's not like he's just out there doing nothing, right? Like, I need a break. He's just getting his body and his mind right and doing all the things he needs to do to make a push again. So,
yeah, super impressed by his game. It was weird. It was like this game reminded me of one of their first 3 wins way back when in mid-October when they beat Minnesota, they beat Sacramento. Who's the other team? They beat Phoenix. The 3-0 to start the season. That win last night reminded me of those 3 wins. Like, I thought they were dominant. Their defense looked great. Held Memphis 13 points below their average. They had Memphis 46 points in the first half, Geet. We kept talking about that at halftime. 46 points for this team, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do. So I thought it was a very complete game for them. They kind of needed it too.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's one thing to beat up on Portland, and then you played Minnesota on the road. We have a feeling how that's going to go.
Yeah.
They needed a win against a quality team. They got it. I feel like they're. It's too early to say they're back. They're only 2 games above 500, Allie, but a nice step for them with a brutal schedule upcoming. They got 3 games against Sacramento, Christmas Day at Golden State, Cleveland, New Year's Eve here in LA. I'm not saying these in any order at all. And Detroit, who actually just beat them a few weeks ago. So from here till January 2nd, it's a pretty brutal stretch for this team. They needed to beat this team, no doubt.
By the way, you only called me once yesterday.
I know. I thought in my mind I did.
I think you said that.
You really
I called you back. You didn't answer.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Max Christie, you had mentioned, obviously we heard JJ talk about really looking for that 5th complimentary player.
I thought it was interesting because I looked up at one point and saw he had, like, I don't know if it was 1 point or 3 points, whatever he had. And it just goes to it. For me, it was like I was so impressed watching it in front of my face because Jaws just insane athlete. And watching Max defend him and how hard he was defending him and how he was making it harder for Ja and how he was staying in front of him and physical, length, athleticism. I'm like, damn, Max is playing his ass off. Like, he's a big part of this game. Like, Jaws played us many times where he could do whatever the hell he wants. He gets in the lane. He's had those games against the Lakers many, many times, and they have zero answer for him. It was just nice to have, like, I don't know, John didn't have that special game.
Yeah.
6 for 21.
Yeah. A lot of that's Max causing problems for him. And team defense, too, just the way Lakers were dialed in. But it's funny because JJ talked about, like, finding that guy. We need to find that 5th starter, that 5th complement player to go with Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, and Anthony Davis. And he said it's got to be a point of attack defender, Got to be a guy who can hit three, and it's got to be a guy that doesn't need the basketball. And you're like, how many of those guys are on the team? I mean, it made sense that it was Max, right? Like, it's Gabe or Max.
Yeah.
And, it was Max's turn, and I thought he delivered big time in that role. Like, all the guys mentioned it without really even, it's not like you had to prompt them. They were, JJ mentioned it right away. And so it was nice for Max to, listen, he had a really good game in that Minnesota game. You look at his line there at 15 and played pretty well. And so he's finding his way because he started out struggling and then out of rotation, and then injuries came and he got his chance again. So,
I think a big question for Max now is can he be consistent? And then kind of like the 1B to that is what is your leash length?
Yeah.
For someone who, let's not forget, he's still a young player and he's still going to have those moments.
And are the Lakers good enough with him not scoring at all?
Yeah.
Like, you still, like, the Lakers aren't, it's not like they have just tons of scores where you just really don't need him to do anything, because sometimes you got to create your own shot. Sometimes you got to make a shot. Is he that guy to take his game to the next level?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's what they got. That's what's going to be interesting for him too.
Yeah.
And how long is his leash? A couple bad games, is he out?
And
and then Dalton's back in, or like figuring out who's that starter.
Right.
When I was a writer, Allie, at the LA Times, and I covered this team, I would read my story the next day, mostly when I first started out, and I would say, I feel like I missed something. Like why didn't I put that in there? Why did I have this too far? I had this too far up. I should have moved this down, whatever. Today, I wished we had talked more about, on the post-game show last night, I wish we had talked more about Max versus Ja one-on-one in the post-game show. And we talked about everything else.
Yeah.
Ja missed 15 shots, 21 shots to score 20 points. Not good. Memphis offense, the best in the league. Not tonight.
Yeah.
Memphis bench scores almost 50 a game. The Lakers did pretty well there too. But I wish and I'll take the brunt of this because I was an analyst. You were a host. You're exempt. You're good, Allie. I wish I had talked more about Max's 1v1 because he was so good against Ja. And I hope the good news is you always have a follow-up article or a follow-up day like we're going to have today with our Access SportsNet in a little bit.
Brez is just not always like the topic that jumps off the page. The one that jumps off the page is not the sexiest thing. Yeah, it's 80s 40.
Yeah, 80s 40. LeBron back.
LeBron back.
They beat a good team.
Jaws. 6 foot. Yeah, but you're right. Like, and I don't know if I'm sitting here watching on TV if I'm feeling the same way.
Yeah.
Like, it was like in front of my face. And I'm like, man, this is what they need. They need a player like this because guess what? Vando's not back. Oh. And you can't count on that.
Yeah.
So they got to have someone that could defend with that group and defend at a high level. And look, I just remember him like Ja was coming down the court. He's in transition. Max is picking him up around that three-point line, and Ja can either take you to the middle or he can take you to the baseline. And he's so fast. He does that little hezzy, and he goes baseline. And I just remember it was like kind of coming right at us. And I watched Max move his feet. I watched Max give him a body. I watched like Max, like he couldn't beat him baseline, and then Ja's giving up the ball. And I'm like, usually it doesn't happen. Usually it's Ja going right around someone, and he's doing something unbelievable. But like Max on that possession, just like, I was like, damn, that's pretty impressive.
Maybe we'll talk about
because you're playing
Max
about an elite athlete in Ja Morant.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
You don't get
more
changes the course of the game.
And Max, was somewhat, hanging in there. It's cool.
Yeah. Love it. All right. You just touched on it. Next 6 to close out the month of December. Obviously, the Lakers went into last night versus the number 2 team in the West, 3-11 in their last 11 versus 10-1 the Memphis Grizzlies
now
were in their
they have
last 11.
Sack. Is that what's next?
Both at sack.
Beautiful thing about this, though, is that they don't have games for the next 3 days.
No, I love that too, but like just sack.
At sack.
I mean, yep. You're not winning. I mean, it's hard to win both, right?
Yeah.
You have sack 3 times in the next 5.
You'd be happy with split on the road?
No, I'd actually want them to win both.
I love that about you. Are you going? Is one of you going?
I will be here.
Are you going somewhere soon? Houston?
There's a Texas trip. I think in January I'm going to hit 2
You're
games.
going Houston to where?
Dallas. I think Houston, Dallas.
Dallas.
Dallas is a good city.
Dude, this schedule's not easy.
I know.
The schedule is not easy.
Like
that's what's on the other side of Cleveland and Dallas and Houston?
Yeah, we haven't talked about January yet. I mean, it's...
Yeah, let me get through December first.
I was about to say, let's get to Christmas.
Because
let's enjoy our New Year's, then we can talk about
Cleveland
schedule.
after? Oh, they do have a Detroit in there.
Cleveland is on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, out here.
You will be doing that game. I will not.
I don't think I'll have either.
However.
Yeah, I'm off too.
You'll both be out. I'll be
I might
alone.
sign myself back up if the Buckeyes are playing at the Rose Bowl. on the 1st.
Let's go.
I might just sign myself back up.
Oh, you're back in.
Goodbye, Ohio. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, it's a round of bucket or brick. Yep, that means get your tails moving. Welcome back to the Lakeshow podcast. If you're enjoying the show, you can check out more original podcasts from our Spectrum News journalists on the Spectrum News app. Just head to the podcast section to listen to the latest episodes. You can download the Spectrum News app on the App Store or Google Play. Time now for a round of bucket or
Your
brick.
choice.
We begin with Dalton Connect. He's on a cold streak shooting the ball. Just 3 for 30 from 3 in 7 games in December. Bucket or brick, Dalton has hit the rookie wall.
I'm going to brick it because it's way too soon for the rookie wall. It's a shooting slump. And we've seen LeBron go how many games without hitting a 3? Like, it just happens. The one thing I love, you guys, because I was watching it last night, he shoots still. He's not shy about it. He's not going to stop shooting. He's going through a rough patch in the NBA. It happens. He's a rookie. I still have a lot of confidence in him. Still love him. Love his game out there.
By the way, that one shot is such a great one shot. You can see it on
Where?
Bresnahan too.
What's up?
Shout out to our wonderful camera
Good job.
crew.
Got stockings
Seriously,
in the
you
background?
got a little Tykes basket next to you.
Yeah.
You got the Christmas decorations.
Maybe this could be the
mic
professional picture I
perfectly
could get.
placed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have your hair flowing
Yeah.
in the breeze,
Just
like Allie with James on the
Look,
court.
When you all want to get on my level, just let me know. But until then,
I can't.
bucket or brick.
What was the question
Dalton
again?
Connect.
No, it's a
Dalton
brick.
Connect. Yeah.
I'm with Geet on this, although D-Fish brought up a good point. He said, he's played 26 games, I think he's at, whatever it is. How many games does the Lakers play? I think they're 14 and 12. So, no. I
Low
usually
minutes
wait-
and a lot of them. Like, it's
Yeah.
not like he's playing every night 40 minutes. Like,
Yeah,
But he's
I-
also approaching what Fish said, a college season.
True. That was the long-winded point I was going to make. Still too soon for me.
Yeah.
When he's at 40 something, then
yeah, they
then
play
he's at the
38
wall.
games in college. They play over a 5-month span. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
All right. According to Mark Stein, the Pelicans are open to trading away Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, and CJ McCollum. Bucket or brick, the Lakers and Pelicans would be good trade partners again.
I'll bucket it, Geet, but I have
With you.
specific requests.
Yeah.
I don't think you want any part of Zion. I mean,
Yeah.
gifted when healthy. Not a great defender, but he'll get you points, rebounds. He can pass a little, Allie. B.I. and C.J. McCollum. Okay, yeah, I would take that phone call. We know B.I. We've loved him since he was drafted here by the Lakers. Nice kid. I remember going out, I was still at the Times, and I said, the team was so bad that year. I said, send me out to a couple college campuses where the top picks might come from. Lakers had the number 2 pick that year. So I went out to Duke, sat down with Brandon Ingram at Cameron after practice the day before the game. We talked for like half an hour. I ended up talking to his family. He told me he's a very good artist. He showed me some of his drawings. He drew pictures of like Chris Paul and Carmelo Anthony. So I actually really love the kid, and he's a good player. So bring B.I. back. I like him a lot. And Kuz, too, while you're at it.
Alex Caruso,
I'm gonna
KCP.
I'm gonna bucket it because I do think that they would be a good trade partner because we've done it before and had a lot of success. I'm not going to get into those 3 guys. Brez just broke it down beautifully. But yeah, they would be a good trade partner because they've actually done business with the Lakers.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
Everybody wins.
yeah.
58 fouls called in the game last
Jeez Louise.
night between the Grizzlies and Lakers. Bucket or brick, foul calls are hurting the game. Let's make this one quick. Because the next one's fun.
Bucket, and if you don't think so, you're an idiot.
Fair. You're
How about that,
Barney.
guys?
Bucket.
Is that quick enough for you?
Ditto.
Ditto.
Yeah, that game, Austin Reeves said it best. He's like, that game felt like it was 4 hours long.
I honestly, like, Dave and I texted about it last night because we were talking about the locker room and stuff. And I was like, dude, what? I couldn't, like, figure it out. I was like, is this, like, extra? He's like, yes, 58, whatever at the time. It was like 56 fouls in 2 hours. And
Yeah, plus 45
34
turnovers for the 2 teams combined. That's
doesn't help
self-inflicted.
anything.
That's
it was more later that it really dragged, right? I felt like it was kind of going.
third quarter is when it really started
Yeah,
to bog
yeah,
down.
yeah.
All right. You ready for this last one? Don't even look at the prompter because it's taken out of the prompter. So we're not giving any clues away.
Okay.
Klay Thompson is 6th on the all-time list for
It's in the
most
prompter.
three-pointers made, approaching 5th. Bucket or brick, you can name the players in the top 5 for most three-pointers made all time. And you have to name them.
Okay.
Steph Curry.
Steph.
Bucket or brick?
Oh, all 5?
Yeah.
No.
Will you take a chance on yourself? Bucket it?
No.
Yeah,
I'm out.
let's do it. Bucket it. We'll do it together.
You got Steph, Ray Allen, right?
Ray Allen.
Steph Curry, number 1. Ray Allen, number 3.
Reggie Miller.
Ooh,
Reggie Miller's number 5.
good.
These are both current players.
Think about current. I was going to say think about current guys because they're hoisting way more threes.
So Larry Bird's
You
out.
get 3 chances to guess 2.
way out. God,
One
I feel
East, one West.
Huh.
is Kevin Durant on that list?
Ooh, good one. Steve Nash, just because he played.
No,
Current.
current players. They're playing now.
current.
Is LeBron James getting closer to that list? He's not on it, but I'm trying to think of who shoots a lot of threes now.
LeBron is
seventh.
7.
Okay. It's
Come
got to
on,
be
Brez.
someone old who we're missing.
They're both older.
Older, but not like crazy old.
One in the Eastern Conference,
God, it's
one in the
wait,
West.
we need to know.
They're
Hold on,
both
hold on.
playoff teams right now.
Dame.
Damian
Good.
Lillard
Thank you. Thank
is
you.
number 4.
Kyrie Irving.
New.
Damn it.
That's a great pick, though.
Jason Tatum, he shoots a lot of threes.
No, too young.
He's a little young.
Now we have, okay.
Too young.
So
Think
Too young.
if you got Damian Lillard, that means the East is out. So
Yeah,
now it's
no,
a
yeah, we
West
gotta go
Coast
West
player.
now.
Older.
Oh, James Harden.
Yep. James
Thank
Harden.
you. God, of course.
He just
Wow,
became
that's
number
tough.
2.
Yeah. He should have. Yeah, we should have known. We should have known.
I know.
that
He's been
one.
playing
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are both a bucket.
We did okay.
Yeah, you did. Thanks for playing.
Allie, I like the quizzes better when they're with you and you're.
We played Fill It Up last week.
Oh, fill it up.
Mark Medina.
Does Vince still yell "fill it up" to start the show?
He does. Yep.
Yeah.
Who's Vince?
Vince.
Which one's Vince?
Oh, Vince is an OG. Worked
he
here for
voiced it
years.
over.
Married Kalo.
guys-
Clip it, Kalo.
Oh,
Fill it up.
that's his voice?
That's Vince. Yeah, that's Vince's
hang on.
voice.
That voice comes from that man?
Yes.
You're lying.
And then he married Clip it, Kalo.
It is hard to believe, but yes.
What
Can
happened
we
to
hear it
Medina
again?
on Fill
Wait,
It Up?
Vince still works here?
No.
Oh,
God,
okay.
Allie.
Can we hear it again, audio? I love that intro.
Sorry, I got mad at you for that. What happened to Medina?
He played it for the first time, and Medina's just
Did
funny.
he panic or did he?
No, he actually did well, but it was the most. Okay, so it was LeBron James assist category.
Okay.
The teammates he's most assisted.
Okay.
16, top 16.
It's good. Good one.
Okay.
Okay.
We got
Kevin
One
Love?
of the clues, Kevin Love. We're
Kyrie.
not playing this. This is too
Okay,
fun.
sorry.
One
AD.
of the clues, though, was
Chris Bosh. Dwayne
he
Wade.
played for Kansas.
Anyway,
He hit the game winner in the 2008 championship.
Chalmers.
Okay.
Yeah, I had such trouble with that.
yeah.
So much.
Mario Chalmers.
Not even just Chalmers, okay? I literally said his partner is Luigi,
I
and neither of them.
no. I was picturing like some Italian dude. I'm like Fontecchio.
Too soon. We got to go to break. We are done for the week.
I did say that's a guy
Thanks
who
to you
got in
for
trouble with the
listening to the
scouting
Lakeshow
combine.
podcast. If you like what you hear, leave us a rating and review on your favorite podcast app. He was at your Christmas, though, on that day. We
I
want to
want a
hear
lot
from
of
you.
money
Send
on
us your
that
questions.
Chalmers
Hit us up at
3
X
that led
at
to
Real
the
Clifton at
championship.
Geeter 3 at Mike_Bresnahan. Until next week.
Completely missed it.
Bergen, that was great.
Mario.
Did you know there's a new way to watch your favorite team, and it's available exclusively to Spectrum customers this season? You can watch Lakers games on Spectrum SportsNet Plus with the NBA app on us when you add internet and at least one mobile line. This offer is a slam dunk total value of $194.99. To learn more, head to spectrum.com/getlakers.